Megan, I'm going to move to you for a second. And you're the community engagement manager for Children in Crisis. You're the bridge between the organization and the community. Can you tell us, what that role means to you personally and how you handle that role?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like both of you, I have a past as well that has brought me here. I was removed from my home as a child. Thankfully, my dad was in the picture, so I wasn't put into foster care, but I understand the trauma behind what happens during that. And so, coming here and being able to do my job to support the kids that live on our campus is it's my heart. What that means to me though is when you see if you've ever been to the neighborhood and you see how all the different things that we do and how much it takes to continue to do it, that's what pushes me because without me doing my job and making sure that other people know either about us or how they can support us in various different ways, we can't continue to help kids. And that's the biggest focus for me is just to make sure that I'm doing what's necessary to make sure we have the funds or the volunteerism, whatever we need, marketing, to make sure that our mission is out there and it can be supported.
Yeah, we always say that expression, it takes a village, but it
It
really does take a village to raise children. And then, with children in crisis, are facing trauma, it not only takes financial, I'm sure it takes volunteers, and then it takes awareness. Even as a family law attorney, last year where there was a CLE that was given by the family law section about children and trauma and how trauma actually affects children. Even their physiological state is affected by trauma and their health and their proneness to disease. And I think that's something that really needs to be brought out to the forefront in the community. For lawyers, for social workers, for everybody to really understand the long term, not only mental health but physical effects that the trauma can have on these kids going forward. And it's not possible to handle or tackle a problem that big unless everybody does their part in the community. So I can only imagine how important that is and how much pressure you feel to make sure that you make sure you get everybody on board to help. Yeah, you know, there's a saying that I learned about a year ago: "Pressure is a privilege." And I
is.
tell myself that daily to try to get myself in the right mindset that, that it is truly a privilege because you're helping people out in the time of need. So, you guys have this tagline that really struck home with me. It's providing homes, keeping brothers and sisters together. When I read that, I was like, that's so powerful, to be able to keep these kids with their families and with their siblings. And I think that's something a lot of people don't know, that sometimes in dependency or foster care, that's not always possible. Can you help our listeners understand why keeping the siblings together is so critical and important for children who are experiencing this trauma?